Have you ever considered going off-grid? For us, there's a certain kind of freedom in knowing you're not tied to the grid. No monthly electricity bills, no dependency on a system that we do not control. Hello and welcome. I'm Simon and my dear wifey is Lydia. Last year we built and moved into our off-grid cabin in the Wilde Woods, somewhere in Canada. Well, we named our woods the Wilde Woods. It's an 80-acre slice of land we call our own, tucked away from the noise of the world. We chose this life because we wanted to take control of the essentials, our energy, our water, and our food. We'd rather produce the things we need to live with our own effort rather than depend on a distant company or fragile system. It's not about rejecting modern conveniences or living like pioneers. It's about choosing what matters most to us and learning how to sustain it ourselves. Electricity is no longer something we take for granted. Every bit of energy we use, we first have to collect. We harness the sun to power our home, store it for the night, and carefully manage what we use. Since we do not have enough battery storage capacity, we do run out of electricity when we have too many consecutive days of cloud cover. When that happens, we have to turn to our backup system. We run a generator to keep things going. But that means burning gasoline, which isn't ideal. It works for now, but long term we'd like to get more storage capacity.
It's a cold, crisp morning out here. We're just gonna go show you a sneak peek of our solar panels. The sun is starting to hit them. Maybe I should say the sun is starting to kiss them. The angle at which the sun is coming from, you can see the outline of the bush. But it's early in the morning, so...
One thing about living off-grid is that it changes how you think about power. For example, Lydia tries to do laundry on sunny days. In the winter, we dry our laundry in the living room using the wood heat.
Say hi, Dada.
Lydia cooks without relying on electrical gadgets, and we use as much natural light as possible during the day. The average person never thinks about where their electricity comes from. They flip a switch and it's just there. But out here, it's different. In the winter, warmth doesn't come from a thermostat. It comes from firewood we cut and split ourselves. This is hard work, but honestly, it's rewarding. After a day at the office, I actually appreciate getting outside and splitting some wood. It gives me some much needed exercise. Our wood stove is the heart of the home. It keeps our cabin warm no matter how cold it gets outside, and it does more than just provide heat. It warms our dishwater and bath water, dries our clothes, and we use it as one of our cook stoves. There's something about firewood that makes you appreciate heat in a whole new way. It's not just a number on a thermostat, it's something you've chopped, stacked, and fed into the fire. We aren't completely self-sufficient when it comes to food. We still buy a lot of our groceries, but our goal is to produce more and more of it ourselves. Lydia is a stay-at-home mom, and she's mastered the art of cooking from scratch. If you've ever had homemade sourdough cinnamon buns fresh from the oven or a meal made with simple, whole ingredients, you know that there's no comparison to processed food.
These are scrumptious cinnamon buns out of a wood cook stove.
One big lesson we've learned is the value of bulk storage. We buy dry staples, things like rice, beans, flour, oats, in bulk and store them in rodent-proof, moisture-proof plastic pails. This means fewer grocery trips and the ability to feed our family comfortably even if we can't make it to town for a few weeks. We're also working on preserving more of our own food. We can and freeze what we can. It's a slow process, but every jar of home canned food on the shelf is a step closer to true independence. Some people say that being off-grid isn't truly independent because we still rely on a system. And they're not wrong. We purchased the solar panels and hired someone to drill our well. We still buy propane for cooking and gasoline for the generator. But here's the thing. If all of that failed tomorrow, we would still have heat, water, and food. That's the difference. If our solar panels or battery storage were to fail, we could collect and use rainwater or melt snow. If propane became unavailable, we could cook on the wood stove. We're not completely cut off from modern conveniences, but we've made sure we're not dependent on them. For us, being off-grid means independence. It means knowing that if something goes wrong in the world, we're okay. It's about taking responsibility for our own needs rather than trusting someone else will always provide them for us. This life isn't always easy. There are challenges, weather, maintenance, learning curves, but we believe it's the best way to live for us, and we wouldn't trade it for anything. Could you live this way? What would be the hardest part for you? We'd love to hear your thoughts on living off-grid in the comments. We love hearing from you, and for those of you who have subscribed, thank you. We appreciate all of you. Thank you for watching.